Today I'm talking about boundaries, setting boundaries for a healthier you. Boundaries are important. If you've been around here, you know I talk about boundaries quite a lot. A couple of weeks ago in the healthy relationships course, we talked about communications and boundaries because one of the things I know is that people who experience trauma sometimes struggle to set boundaries for many different reasons. And it doesn't matter the kind of trauma. Sometimes we are not familiar with boundaries because nobody took the time to care about our boundaries. Nobody taught us things about us that needed protection and care. And so, because that's not modeled, we grew up not knowing and learning how to set boundaries. I shared in that group that I never take things from my children without asking first. Could I borrow your bubbles, or could I have a pen? Or because I think that when I do that, I'm modeling for them boundaries. And I'm saying in my interaction that I respect your things and I want you to respect your things too. I want you to respect my things because I think it's important. And sometimes that might seem a little bit over the top. And sometimes I think some people, I see many videos online about, how people of color will break down the doors and go into their children's room because it's my house and it's my door. And I believe that while that might be funny, and while we experience it, we might look back on those experiences with some kind of warmth. I believe that there's also another side to it, because in that breaking down of the door, and in that, there's, you're saying you're not safe, boundaries are not okay, don't. And so we have to be careful because it sends two messages. It's a message of respect your parents, and if you don't respect me, this is what I'll do. This is my house, these are my things, respect it. But I believe that there's a way that we can do that. Now, when we do it by breaking the door down, and when we do it by taking off the thing off the lock, we're sending a message. There's another side that has been learned that, well, I don't have to have boundaries then. And so we're confused when people grow up and they go out there in life and they don't have boundaries, and other people take advantage of them. And we're confused and wonder how it happened. Well, it happened because we trained them to not be respected. We train them that their boundaries are not necessary. We train them to believe that people can do anything that they want with them. And then we wonder why we're having a problem. We're having a problem because we never modeled and demonstrated what it was like in our home. Now, I don't have to do that because it was done to me. You don't have to do it because it was done to you. We can learn how to do something different. We can break those patterns that have existed in our families for generation. We can break the pattern of societal expectations. We can break cultural norms to make something very different for our children, so that the next generation can have a different template to do life from. When we model boundaries, we're saying, I care for you, I love you, you're important to me, you're special. And so when that's received, that message is received and internalized, then people can go about and do it for themselves. Now, if you have never had that experience of being respected, you might struggle with setting boundaries. And so you might find yourself on different extremes of people pleasing and codependency, because you might feel like that's what you should do. And you might think that's a good thing. I'm a giving person, I'm a kind person, therefore that is good. I don't want anybody to be uncomfortable. I want everybody to be happy. And you are not responsible for everybody's happiness, nor can you provide everybody's happiness. And you can't make everybody feel, or anybody feel, anything. And so that's one of the first things to think about as we think about boundaries. And how do I get healthier? How does boundaries make me healthier? So a boundary of I am not responsible for other people's happiness will immediately start to create a change for you, because it will make you assess, how was I doing it? How was I overextending myself? How was I giving too much time? How was I not taking time for myself? How was I not resting enough? How was I not managing my resources well enough? How was I not managing my time well enough? Because I was caring for everybody. And sometimes if you think about it and reflect, you will realize that you do not have any time for yourself, that you do not have good self-care routine, that your sleep routine might be out, that you might not be managing your resources well enough because you do not have good boundaries. And so when you start to boundaries those important places in your life, then you'll begin to see your emotional well-being improve, because now you're no longer carrying the weight of how other people feel, and you're no longer responsible for the happiness of others, that you're no longer overextending yourself and stretching yourself beyond your limits, that you're listening to your body, that you're listening to yourself, and that you're getting help for yourself. Because one of the things with people who do not have good boundaries is that they also don't have good support systems. Because when you are the person without boundaries and you're giving, nobody, or the people that are in your world at that time, will not know that you also have a need, because you will not express that need. So it's really important to assess what were my boundaries? Was I respected? What are the things in my life that I want a boundary? What limits can I place around them? How can I begin to start? Now, you might need support to start to put some boundaries in place, but it's really important that you begin to do it today. Because when you set boundaries, you're happier and healthier, your well-being is better, and you're better able to do the caring that you want to do. You're better able to care for the people that are around you.